The big issue tonight, billions of people in this world believe in a higher power. Far fewer are non-believers, but many of them are determined to prove everyone else's God does not exist.
Atheists have waged a secular war on the faithful in a string of recent books, more specifically, a war on Christians. Now one best-selling author is turning the tables on them using logic, science, and reason to prove a divine power does in fact exist. Where atheists ask, where is God when bad things can happen? Dinesh D'Souza says, where is atheism when bad things happen?
It's all in his gripping new book that just hit the store shelves yesterday, but is already a bestseller. It's called What's So Great About Christianity? No question mark. Dinesh D'Souza joins us now. So Dinesh, I know this is pushback against Christopher Hitchens and Sam Harris and the rest of them who say God is not great. Just since it is your title, what is so great about Christianity?
Well, I think the first point I want to make is that Christianity is responsible for many of the institutions and values that even secular people cherish. If an atheist were to sit down and make a list of things that he or she likes, for example, the idea of individual dignity, the idea of human rights, the idea of equality, opposition to slavery, the notion of compassion as a social value. And if you look at history, you will see that all these things came into the world because of Christianity. If it wasn't for Christianity, we wouldn't have them. So I'm trying to cultivate in these belligerent atheists at least a little bit of respect for Christianity. Even if they don't believe in God, they can at least appreciate that our civilization and our world is a lot better because of Christianity.
Dinesh, we all know how Christians respond to bad incidents. Oftentimes we have a belief that things happen because for whatever reason God meant for it to be that way. What do atheists say about why bad things happen?
Well, the interesting thing is that the atheists say that if God was just and good, he would not allow bad things to happen. Logically, this is a bit of a fallacy because the bad things are most often not caused by God, they are caused by human free will. If you look, for example, at Hitler's actions, God didn't do the Holocaust, Hitler and the Nazis did. But the other point that strikes me as interesting, and I noticed this just a few months ago when we had the Virginia Tech tragedy, is that here you have a very secular campus, but whenever something terrible happens involving death, suddenly atheism disappears. Suddenly everyone speaks a religious language, there are memorials, there are services, everything is drenched in religious imagery. So my point is that in a certain sense, atheism is incapable of coming to our consolation and meeting our emotional needs when there are terrible tragedies.
Dinesh, this is one Heather wanted to ask you, but I'm going to grab it if you don't mind. You say you can prove scientifically the existence of God. How?
Well, I would put it this way, that for a couple of hundred years it looked like science was cutting against the idea of theism or Christianity. You know, Copernicus shows that the earth is not the center of the universe. Newton shows that the universe is like a big clockwork machine. It doesn't seem to need outside intervention. Darwin shows that you can have design without a designer. Well, the interesting story, the big story, John, if I can steal your term, is that in the last 100 years or so there have been spectacular developments in science that greatly support the idea of a transcendent creator. For example, physicists have discovered
Dinesh,
that not only matter...
We are going to have to leave it there, I'm afraid. But you know what? Folks can pick up your book. It's a bestseller. It's called What is So Great About Christianity? Dinesh D'Souza, thanks so much.